Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Nate. I also go by Hockey Boy and Nate. Today we are going to make a kind of a live stream-esque type video to where I'm going to be doing this on the fly. And so I'll also be engaging with my audience here. So if you are watching this after the fact, this will be giving updates as to the impacts with the severe weather event in the Northeast, as well as a tropical update in the Caribbean. So if you guys are new to my channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe for more content just like this. I will be uploading videos that are relatively shorter, and turn on notifications to stay up to date with my content. Share this with friends and family and on social media. We do have a 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale here, which is elongated throughout much of the Northeast, even into the Ohio River Valley. And then within that 2 out of 5 on the severe weather scale indicated in yellow, there is a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale here indicated in the Northeast. And so there is the threat for some strong severe storms to impact places like Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, that general vicinity over there. Strong damaging winds is more or less likely. And then throughout most of the United States, you have this giant green area here. If I scroll down a little bit, you can see this giant dark green area here, which is indicative of a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale here. So the potential for some severe storms is possible throughout much of the United States. And so if you do live within these areas, I highly recommend monitoring the weather throughout the majority of time. Now, if we take a look at the parameters here, not a huge chance for hail. At maximum, it is a 15% chance of hail within a 25-mile radius, specifically 1-inch size hail within a 25-mile radius. These other areas indicated in brown is a 5% chance, so that's the lowest of the low right within there. There is the threat for some damaging winds across the board, 5% in brown, 15% in yellow, and then in 30, that is your the red risk, or the 30% chance for some strong damaging winds. So whatever probability you have, that is your chance of seeing 58-mile-per-hour winds or greater within a 25-mile radius. And then as this continues to move about, we'll include our tornado risk here, and it's a pretty expansive one at that. We do have a massive 2% here indicated in green, and then a 5% chance for tornadoes indicated in those brown areas. So that's the one thing to watch out for with this as this continues to move on through later on this evening. If we take a look at the timings of this event, I can't really zoom in all too much into the Northeast due to how widespread this event currently is, but we do have a widespread scale amount of storms here with the tropical storm Claudette moving off the coast as well. And so this massive line of storms will be kind of forming a broken line QLCS as this moves about. And so if we show this as how this progresses, you can see how the storms really start to kind of fire off across the board, all the way from Quebec down into New York, into Pennsylvania, down to West Virginia, across portions of the Ohio River Valley, into the Mississippi River Valley, and further down south into the Deep South. So there is a lot of action here, to say the least, as this continues to progress. A lot of widespread storms that will be approaching Pittsburgh, Charleston, West Virginia, areas near Bowling Green, Kentucky, all the way down through into Nashville, Tennessee. Moving on further north with Albany, New York, expected to get these storms later on towards 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, right around that general vicinity. And then as this continues to move on through, you can even see these little bowing segments within some of these lines, indicating some very strong damaging winds, straight line winds, I should say, within this. And as I said, that's your threat for 58-mile-per-hour winds, is within those storms. Then you also have a new band of storms that form in central Pennsylvania and into the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. So around the Hagerstown vicinity, all the way up into Chambersburg, Harrisburg, further on up towards Reading. There's a new band of storms that'll more or less form right around the 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock hours. So places further along towards Frederick and even the D.C., Baltimore metro areas, they could be impacted by 7 o'clock, the 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock hours here, as this continues to move about into the Delmarva Peninsula. And even then, places like Trenton and Philly could be impacted around 9 o'clock. Maybe even New York could be impacted later on than that, probably around 10, maybe even 11 o'clock. So very gnarly storm setup as this moves on through. And not to forget the places down in the south, you also still have those lines of storms that are moving ever so slowly. If we actually back up a little bit here, You can see how this setup actually does go through places like Memphis. It does go through places like Nashville at around the 4 o'clock hours in Central Daylight Time. This will continue to move about all the way further towards Tupelo, and that'll be at around the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock hours, and even into Huntsville, Alabama, that general vicinity at around the 9 o'clock hours as well. And so there's a lot of activity with this as this continues to move on through overnight. But by midnight, it seems as if the northeast event shreds away, but the southeast event really continues to kind of pile on up. And so there'll be a lot of activity going on through even into the overnight hours, and that'll lead to tomorrow's setup for severe weather, which will include a 1 out of 5 on the severe weather scale here for portions of coastal Carolinas down into Florida. So a lot of activity here still expected, still anticipated with this, and we're still going to want to watch out for these scattered thunderstorms across the board. If we take a look at the moisture here, dew points are relatively moist throughout most of the event. It actually has been pretty hot here in central, or at least south central PA. I'm looking at my weather station, which is currently outside, and it is 92 degrees outside with dew points at 69, so that's 1 degree off of 70, which is still relatively moist. The dew points 60s and above are going to be relatively moist within some of these areas, and we do have that ample amount of moisture here at the surface. Anything above 60 degrees is really good, and that's indicated within this yellow here, even into the oranges in some spots. So very strong moisture, a lot of advection with a lot of thunderstorms that are going to really fire off across this. If we take a look at our convective available potential energy, as I said, warm air rising and cold air sinking. The displacement between the two in the atmosphere will show you how much energy there is for thunderstorms to either form or sustain. And we have a lot of energy here across the board for the most part. It actually was a lot more significant earlier, but then as this, I guess there's a lot of cold air that's seeping on through towards the surface, so there isn't really as much from that first frame. But I'd say across the board, around 2,000 joules per kilogram is more or less expected. Once you head further south, that's when you can get into the 3,000 joules per kilogram general vicinity. And as I said, 2,000 joules per kilogram or above is what you want for severe storms. And so there is definitely a lot of energy here in the atmosphere. So there's definitely a plethora amount of activity here for these thunderstorms. We're going to start going to specific cities now, and we're going to try and do forecasts for that. So give me a second. We're going to go on to Pittsburgh here. Pittsburgh's going to be the first one. And the interesting thing about this is Pittsburgh more or less is almost getting impacted right now. You got a couple strong storms that are moving on through off to your north and east. But according to these models, this will be moving on through your general vicinity here at around the 3 o'clock hours, more or less. And then that'll continue to create more activity for thunderstorms even into the 4 o'clock hours. 5 o'clock hours, you might be starting to get out of the activity, but then you got some more showers and thunderstorms that could be pushing on through. And then this might be some reoccurring activity all the way through until the overnight hours, potentially until 9 o'clock, maybe even 10 o'clock. Actually, according to this model, 10 o'clock is when you guys officially start to get out of that heavy bands of rain. So a lot of activity for you all that is anticipated. Let's go over to, I want to see if it has the city. I don't think it does. Yes, it does. There you go. All right, let's take a look at Harrisburg now. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. If we take a look at how these storms begin to form, you can see by 4 o'clock here, according to this model, by 4 o'clock, a lot of these thunderstorms really start to form across the board, especially into State College. State College, they could be potentially getting some activity. And then this really starts to form these little scattered thunderstorms all within a line here by 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. So that's around the time frame in which you guys could more or less get your strong to severe storms that could move on through. I expect damaging winds in upwards of 60 miles per hour with this, as well as spotty hail. Can't rule out the potential chance for a tornado, but it's not exactly all too high. And as this continues to move about further on through, that line will then start to approach general vicinities of DC and Baltimore at around the 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock hours as well. You can see how Baltimore down here is getting a lot of thunderstorm activity according to this model. And then this will continue to race off to the east and impact places like Philadelphia. Even the Delmarva Peninsula could potentially be impacted, and that'll continue to move on through. But you do have another band of thunderstorms over here in Franklin County and even further north of that. And so this could potentially be moving on through and give a second wave of showers and thunderstorms off to Harrisburg by 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. And this is really one of those things to where there's going to, you're really going to have to watch out for another band of thunderstorms that could move on through. This will not be as significant as the showers you will get at around 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. That is the one thing that I will confirm for you all. So definitely something that we'll have to continue to monitor. I probably won't be live streaming this entire event. This is just going to be kind of this timing event for people who need it. But still, just wanted to get something across because I was pretty tired last night. I was working with Morgan. I was actually working on my own stuff, more or less. And I was planning on live streaming the severe weather event yesterday, but I had to do some important stuff, and there was the obviously the strong tornado that occurred in Chicago last night, and I couldn't get on live in time, although I do believe it should have went tornado watched. I was really going to try and live stream. You can even ask Morgan. I was saying, hey, I probably could live stream on Sunday, and I probably will do it, but then I just really couldn't because I had my own stuff to do. And then I told Morgan to just start live streaming as soon as the tornado went. And so I was talking with him last night on the Royal NYR 52 YouTube or 54 YouTube channel. He's a good guy. Whenever I'm not live streaming, he probably will be. And so, yeah, be pretty interesting to say the least. Model showing a major hurricane in Texas. That's from the 12Z. That's from the 6Z run. Did you take a look at the 12Z run? Which, by the way, we'll talk about that here in a second too. But yeah, this is basically a thing for timings. Now we're gonna take a look at let's take a look at Nashville. Nashville's timings here, and we're gonna back up a bit. By the way, these timings up here, over here, that's in Eastern Daylight Time. Can't really do it in Central, unfortunately, because I live over here in the East Coast. But there's a lot of activity, and so you can see how these storms here in Nashville really start to form into a consolidated line across the board. It even extends all the way further and upwards to, give me a second, I actually have to look. God, why is my computer being this way? I love my computer. There we go. So you can see how it actually gets up into places like Bowling Green at around the 2 o'clock hours central, maybe even 3 o'clock hours central. That'll continue to move about to the east, even southeast in some spots. And so places like Nashville could potentially be impacted by 4 o'clock Central Daylight Time, even moving about further to the east, and even impact areas further east of that towards Cookeville, and maybe even places like Huntsville, Alabama, further on into the evening at around probably 6 o'clock Central, 7 o'clock Eastern. And so a lot of activity expected even further than that as more thunderstorms begin to consolidate past that at around the 9 Central, 10 Eastern time frame before that continues to move on through. So definitely a lot of activity anticipated over there. I do want to start talking about, let's see, is there a place here? How about Albany? Let's go Albany here. Albany, New York. Computer crash? No, it's just my computer sometimes being stupid. So here you can see these thunderstorms already forming at around 4 o'clock here in upstate New York. This will be far north of Utica, maybe even at Utica as this continues to move on through. And then you can see these thunderstorms actually impact areas near Saratoga Springs, and north of that along along I-87. And as that continues to move about, that'll impact places of New Hampshire and Vermont at around 7 to 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. And then you'll have another line of storms that'll move on through at around the 8 or 9 o'clock hours. That will be the one that will impact areas all along the Hudson River, even further down into New York City, which we'll talk about here. We actually might as well do so. Watch the radar and how it approaches this. So you can see how a long consolidated line of storms will start to approach New Jersey, upper portions of New Jersey at around 9 o'clock, even further down into Philly and Trenton. That'll start to impact your general vicinity, but then it'll approach the metro areas of New York City, even the suburbs around it at around 10 o'clock, even to 11 o'clock. But then once this starts to get into the New York City areas, it'll start to dissipate, and so Long Island won't really see a whole lot of thunderstorms. And so that's the good news there for you all. Now, I do want to talk about the tropical system here. Tropical update here, I should say. And I'm pretty sure most of you have already heard from most other weather YouTubers that the GFS is picking up on a tropical system in the Gulf. And I was actually talking about this with Morgan earlier on in the week, that there could potentially be another tropical system to form here within the Caribbean, and how this moves about with its tropical wave. And so the GFS has been really kind of doing its own thing here, and well, doing just that. So a lot of weather YouTubers have been telling you, or well, been showing you more or less what the simulated radar actually does and where it could impact. And as I said, most models this far out, take it with a grain of salt. I've said it in some of these other videos, take it with a grain of salt. But they're only showing you the radar and stuff like that. If they don't show you the parameters around it and how it truly functions, then they're only going based off of what the model says. You're going to have to try and understand the environment around it so that you can actually try and make a prediction off of it. So here's what we're going to do here. We're going to show you the relative humidity from 700 millibars to 400 millibars. That's mid-level humidity. This will show you your moisture and your dry air in the atmosphere. So we're going to zoom in, and we're going to show you it from this. Here you are. So this is right about now. You can see Claudette moves off of the coast. A lot of dry air from the Saharan desert. That's no surprise there. Common reoccurrence that a lot of dry air gets pushed off from it. You do have your tropical wave over here that's still going on strong. If you guys remember my past videos, we were talking about a little disturbance from the MDR, the main development region, that actually had, what was it, a 10% chance of formation over 2 days and 5 days. I think it was even a 20% chance of formation over the next 5 days or something like that. I made that video about 5 days ago or something of the sort. And that tropical wave is still going on strong. Still have a lot of dry air with it, don't get me wrong. But this tropical wave does have some ample amounts of moisture, and it is heading into areas with ample amount of moisture here from South America even to Central America. You can notice a lot of these dark greens, kind of this tropical green more or less here. This is indicative of some very strong moisture within the mid-levels, and that's what these tropical cyclones need. They do not need these brown areas whatsoever, this dry air that could potentially kill off thunderstorm activity. And so as this continues to progress, you can see how the moisture actually starts to become a lot more consolidated, especially into places of Central America and even across the Mexico vicinity into South America. And this moisture is really going to help this tropical system, this tropical wave, I should say, get organized and combat this dry air here around it. So right about here is where the tropical wave is. All this brown around it is the dry air. And as we continue to watch this progress on through, you can see the dry air in front of the actual tropical system start to diminish, and we have more and more moisture begin to start to consolidate. And so what's happening here is this tropical wave is basically creating all sorts of moisture, and how this continues to consolidate further and further, even into areas of the Pacific. A lot of moisture from this other tropical system that is expected to form over there, and potentially form a new named storm that could impact Mexico. A lot of moisture that is starting to consolidate within this area. And so this moisture is going to most likely be taken advantage of, and this tropical wave is basically going to be the catalyst of this. This won't really be the main area that will create the tropical system, because the tropical wave, according to the GFS, this actually heads off into the Lesser Antilles and further north of Puerto Rico and even into the Dominican Republic. But that's not where the tropical system is going to form off of. And so what's going to happen here is this tropical wave, a broad low pressure system, is going to pull up this moisture from South America and the Central Americas into the Gulf of Mexico and in the Caribbean. And this will create a very unstable, very marine unstable amount of energy for development from this tropical system. And as this continues to move on through into the latter stages of this week into next week, you can see already, look at how much moisture is in the Caribbean now. There's not as much dry air at all. As a matter of fact, most of the dry air has been left in the dust. There's a new tropical wave that heads off of Africa at this instance, which we'll have to watch that very carefully for another tropical system to potentially form on through. That'll be the Cape Verde Islands over there, which actually have a, excuse me, I'm jumbling my words a bit, which are notorious for creating long-lived tropical systems that eventually form into hurricanes. We actually call them Cape Verde hurricanes that move on through. Whether or not this thing does intensify into a hurricane, that's to be determined. We're going to have to still look at the environment around it. But regardless, a plethora amount of moisture that starts to consolidate here across the board. And you can even see in the Pacific, there's your tropical system that begins to form right within there. And as this continues to head on through to the north, that brings a plethora amount of moisture from the Pacific and shoots it off to the north and east. So as this heads off into Mexico, there's going to be so much moisture here from this remnant tropical system, which will add an extra layer of moisture and energy for more development here in the Gulf of Mexico. And so you can see here's the original tropical wave. It did head over north of Puerto Rico, but what it did is it's bringing in more and more moisture from areas of Central America into and South America into this general vicinity of the Greater and Lesser Antilles. And so this moisture will eventually create a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of convergence within these areas, and this is where you get your organized tropical system, to where this could potentially start to really consolidate. Now, the only thing about this is that there's still a lot of dry air to the rear of the system. So if this dry air does seep into this, then we won't see as significant of a system, to say the least. But the interesting to say here is that there is still that extra amount of moisture from the tropical system that was in the Pacific, and that will supply more and more energy to this low pressure system. And look at this. This really starts to consolidate quickly. I mean, here in the Gulf of Mexico, a lot of moisture forecasted, and this end up does forming into a tropical system according to the GFS, and this actually makes landfall around areas of Mobile and Pensacola. Now, here's the thing, all right, and I'm going to side with a bunch of weather YouTubers in saying this. Across the board here, trying to pinpoint an exact area of landfall is too difficult to do. We're talking about a tropical system that could start forming in the beginning of next week, which is about 7 days out, and landfall about two weeks from now. And so we really don't have the capabilities to exactly pinpoint as to where this tropical system could go. But the Gulf of Mexico should be on high alert for a tropical system to form within the next week. It would probably be at the end of this week into the beginning of next week, and a landfall to potentially be within the end of the following week after that. And so just one of those things to where we really have to watch out for this moisture and how this consolidates further and further. And if this does continue to materialize in front of us like what the GFS has been saying, then we're really going to have to watch out for this. Now, I do want to take a look at the Euro model here. The Euro, for whatever reason, is pretty stupid with tropics sometimes, but we can use what we already know within some of this some of these events here, some of these instances. And the cool thing about this is that we're actually using the vorticity here, the cyclone vorticity, to kind of show as to where there could be some spin in the atmosphere. Here's Claudette over here, which is forecasted in the mid part of the week to head off towards Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. But there is a little bit of vorticity here that heads off into the greater, or the Lesser Antilles, I should say. And how this continues to head off to the east, this is pretty interesting to say the least, because it actually goes right over the Greater Antilles. So if it goes further north, then it won't be a contributor. If it goes further south, it'll be much more of a contributor. But moisture does seep into this general vicinity, and you do have some vorticity here across portions of South America, even into Central America. And here's your forecasted tropical system that could form in the Pacific. If this thing does go off into Mexico like it's forecasted to do, a lot more moisture could be consolidated within this general vicinity right here, and that'll basically add to another layer of instability for these tropical systems to potentially form. And look at this, you already have a lot of vorticity here across these areas of Central America. So a lot of convergence is anticipated with this. We're just going to have to see based off of a moisture perspective. If we actually go back to the GFS model and try and find some wind shear here with this, we're going to take a look at the 200 to 500 millibar wind shear. And just by looking at this, there isn't really all too much moisture here within the Caribbean, except for areas north of the Greater Antilles, even into the Bahamas. And so we're just going to have to watch out for this as this continues to progress. There's a lot of flow with this according to the GFS, but the moisture we're just really going to have to watch out for. And if this thing does form at a pocket of low wind shear, then we could be talking about our next tropical system next week. So I just wanted to get that ahead for you all, because there was a lot of people on YouTube that were just basically showing the reflectivity and saying the GFS has been showing this for the past 2 days or 3 days or 4 days, category 5 hurricane that hits the coast. Because it's been saying this, I'm going to say that there is a pretty high chance of this forming. And I'm just like, listen. If you understand the environment around it, then you could potentially make your case there. But just because one model says that something's going to happen doesn't mean it's always going to happen. That's just my thing about it. But that's that. Nina K with a $10 super chat says, a small donation to show my appreciation for your work. Thank you so much. Thank you for the $10 super chat. I really do appreciate it. I really do. It means a whole lot to me. Caught your live stream on Friday night when the storms were moving through the Cincinnati area. Great stuff, man. You do good work. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I'm glad I was of help there on Friday. Glad I was of any help. But yeah, I just try and show the environment here. More or less, I'm a huge advocate of showing my work. If I show my work, then people will begin to understand my thought processes a whole lot easier, and I gain higher credibility. So people who don't really show their work kinda kind of, it's like an anxiety show. You know what I mean? But I was going to make a video this morning, and then I was pretty tired because of last night. And so I just was like, all right, I'm going to sleep. But I could have done something about it. So that's my fault. That's also my fault for not live streaming yesterday, too. Because I was, I was going to do so, then I had issues in IRL that I had to tend to. But I was going to live stream. If I actually live streamed sooner, I probably could have avoided those issues. So that's just unfortunate for the people of Chicago. But yeah. What are you using to do the scribble tool and the arrow and the eraser stuff? That's Epic Pen. Epic Pen. Let's go to live severe weather analysis mode here. We're going to be talking about a couple of these scattered thunderstorms. I'm just trying to look through and see which ones I should probably talk about. Yeah, let's talk about this one that's heading towards Pittsburgh. I think this one's probably the best one to talk about at this moment. I won't be live streaming for all too much longer. This is just basically to provide an update as to which areas could be impacted. But, still, regardless, a lot of strong severe storms that are heading on through into Pittsburgh. And, according to the box here, this does say damaging wind gusts and upwards of 60-mile-per-hour winds and quarter-size hail. So, excuse me, a lot of straight-line wind activity with this heading off into the Three Rivers area. It actually probably will be heading off further north of that, eventually to the areas of Franklin Park, Aliquippa, and that general vicinity towards New Kensington, that general vicinity. So, anything down in Dallas-Fort Worth that could potentially be severe? Not that I am aware of. A new severe thunderstorm watch has been issued for my area. Okay, so we could potentially start talking about some more activity with this. Is my radio working? I mean, I probably could turn it on. It's not up right now, but... Carly with the $10 super chat says, thanks for the weather updates on a slow Monday. Yeah, Mondays can be pretty slow, but I'm glad I can make it a little bit better for some people. So thank you so much for the $10 super chat. I really do appreciate it, and believe me, I do. I do really appreciate it. Yeah, it doesn't look like Dallas-Fort Worth is getting all too much activity. It's just some scattered showers and thunderstorms. But nothing too severe. Nothing too severe to report. Yeah, look at how many, you see these red boxes here? These red polygons? Or these kind of light red polygons? This is actually severe thunderstorm watch polygons. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 severe thunderstorm watches at the moment. Let's see if I can actually, do the MRMS. There you go. We can see all across the board as to what's happening here. Today's your birthday and this is the best present? Why, I'm glad that I can be of service to you. Happy birthday, David. Happy birthday. But yeah, this is what's moving on through. Is the severe storms going to sweep all the way across the state? You're in southeastern parts of Pennsylvania? Yeah, most likely. These thunderstorms will most likely move on through into your general vicinity. There might actually be a new band of thunderstorms that'll form right around 5 to 6 o'clock near Harrisburg and into Chambersburg and York, and that'll potentially move on through further east to like Philly. So, is there some severe thunderstorms or tornadoes in North Illinois? Not anymore. Is Morgan going live? No clue. there's a lot of Canadian severe thunderstorm warnings over here. Let's see if we can talk about it here real quickly. Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. Ooh, baby, do, will you take me to do, funky time? There we go. So we just got some scattered storms across the board here in the southern portions of Quebec and further off into northern Maine. A lot of activity there with that. We also have some severe thunderstorms that are rolling on through north of Utica and even south of Utica and Syracuse here, heading off into the Sangerfield areas, even into the Eaton areas too. So I-81, they're kind of in the clear as of right now, but if you're east of that, especially along US Highway 20, you guys could be impacted by some strong storms that have seems to be $half sized hail and 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with that too. So are the storms in Tennessee going to be severe? They definitely could be. They definitely could be. There's a lot of special weather statements for this, but I think when this starts to finally consolidate like it's expected to, then we could potentially talk about talk about this being severe. Turn off the risk for the Storm Prediction Center again. There's a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings off near Cumberland too. I wonder if that will try and consolidate and become your big threat for severe weather in the heading off into the eastern panhandle of West Virginia. If you're talking about Paragon, Indiana, most likely not. Areas in Illinois and Indiana, your risk is over. Your risk was mainly last night. Where's severe thunderstorm in Maryland heading downstream? That will most likely be heading off to... let's see if I can load this. Why am I loading 200 frames? It's heading off kind of to the east, so it's paralleling I-68. That'll eventually go into the intersection of 70 and 68 near Hancock. Further on towards Hagerstown, Waynesboro, Greencastle, even off to the Boonesboro, Frederick areas, even Martinsburg, West Virginia. I would not be surprised if they got some action. But eastern panhandle, extreme western portions of Maryland, maybe even southern portions of Pennsylvania, so south central areas. So they definitely could get some activity. As I said, Illinois and Indiana is not going to see some severe weather today. I mean, maybe southern portions, but... anything major between the Quebec-New York border? I'm almost directly below Montreal. Yeah, give me a second. Let me see if I can find something for you. So you do have some scattered showers here, according to the Canadian radar. It doesn't seem to be all too significant at the moment, but there are some storms that might be trying to rotate. Yeah, there is some storms that are trying to rotate if you're in Canada. But if you're like on I-87, you guys should be fine for right now. You guys could get some more activity a bit later. I have no clue why I-89 does not connect up with I-87. That's kind of stupid, I'm not gonna lie. Like, there's no road that connects Burlington to I-87 at all. And I know there isn't really a point, but if you say you wanted to get to Plattsburgh, you couldn't do so unless you went up on Highway 2 and then went around Lake Champlain all the way down south again. It's kind of stupid in my honest opinion. but it costs a lot of money. Now you have Funky Town stuck in your head. I'm sorry. New severe thunderstorm warning for Buffalo, New York. So Buffalo is currently getting some activity. Maybe not downtown Buffalo anymore, but yeah, there's areas that are heading off further towards the east of Buffalo. So it's now past the international airport. It's paralleling I-90. And it's moving on through towards Highway 20 now. But yeah, Buffalo joined the fray today. Also, a couple other severe thunderstorm warnings here, which includes the outskirts of Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh is starting to get into a severe thunderstorm warning as well. So this is what we were talking about. Strong damaging winds with this one. This is probably going to say 60-mile-per-hour winds. I would actually say that it could be higher than that. And upwards of probably 70-mile-per-hour winds possible with that. So we're definitely going to have to watch out for that threat of severe weather. People asked about Kentucky and if there's anything over there. There are a couple severe thunderstorm warnings south of Lexington, or at least south and east of Lexington, as well as heading off into extreme eastern Kentucky, heading off towards areas like Sandy Hook, Moorhead, even into the Frenchburg area south of Mount Sterling. There's a lot of severe weather here with this. It's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Nothing really all too tornadic that I can see from this. There's a lot of scattered storms across the board. How far east in Jersey, NYC area do I think storms will make it before a weakening? I think it will get to northeastern Jersey and then start getting into a weakening trend. But New York could definitely see some severe activity before it officially dies out. Because I think it'll probably start to weaken out as it heads over Long Island. What are my radars? So this right here I'm currently using is Radar Omega. I personally like this as a cheap option of a radar for mobile. I only have it on computer because I purchased some sort of annual subscription fee. And so if you want to approach that however way you can, you could. It costs about, I think it's what, $9 on mobile. And I highly recommend this radar to people who want a good radar. But if you want a very good radar here that gives you all sorts of stuff, it even gives you 3D analysis, then go with GR2 Analyst. 21-day free trial, but then after the 21 days, this does, kind of shut down until you purchase a stream key, or not a stream key, a key for GR2 Analyst. And once you do that, then you can insert it in here, but it does cost $250, so that's the only downside. But this is the best radar money can buy, in my honest opinion. You can put so much stuff on top of it, make it so much better than it already is. Can I check Mobile? Well, there is a couple thunderstorms that are in this general vicinity, but nothing really too significant, according to this. Not even a special weather statement from the National Weather Service. There's a lot of special marine warnings here. There's actually a total of 68 warnings across 2 countries, which is pretty gnarly. Oh, look at that. I didn't even notice that. Here's your tropical system that we were talking about earlier in the Pacific. The National Hurricane Center is actually giving it a 50% chance of formation over the next 5 days. So right there, this is step number 1 for that tropical system in the Atlantic to move on through. Step 1, tropical system to form in the Pacific. Step 2, this tropical wave to continue to move off to the north and west, eventually into the Caribbean. It could move north of the Greater Antilles. It could move south of the Greater Antilles. Either way, it'll still create a lot of moisture here for South America into Central America. Step 3, tropical system to move over into Mexico. Most likely a landfall somewhere here in the southern portions of Mexico. And so I'd highly watch out for that, especially towards the beginning of next week. And then finally, step 4, moisture consolidation from both the tropical wave and the tropical system hitting Mexico, creating a lot of unstable air masses here, and then eventually creating your tropical system that will head off over here. Now, it'll have to depend upon track, because there could be a couple different things that are swaying this thing, or that could sway it west or east. If there's a boundary that moves on through, this thing will move off to the east. If there isn't, this will move off to the west. But because we can't really predict that far, then we don't exactly know where this is going. But the thing of it is that activity could be anticipated here in the Caribbean relatively soon. Check the storm south of Huntington, Quebec. I gotta try and find where Huntington is. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. That little storm over there definitely is moving about. It is rotating a little bit, too. Move to the second tail. Yeah, it's a supercell. It's definitely trying to rotate. While I'm down south, can I check the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro? There isn't really much to talk about in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metro. There's thunderstorms over there, but they're not severe. They're not expected to be severe either. It's just some scattered showers and thunderstorms that'll be impacting DFW International Airport, and then moving on through that way. Very slow moving thunderstorms to begin with, but here's your outflow boundary. If anything, I would just expect spotty hail with those storms. Is there going to be a tornado, any tornado today in Illinois? No, there isn't going to be anything else in Illinois today. As I've been saying, Illinois and Indiana, your risk is over. That was last night. Now, it's the Northeast's turn. Yeah, there's so much activity in the, what's its face, in Arizona. I actually want to quickly take a look and see if you guys will get your monsoon anytime soon. A little bit of moisture. Might. As of right now, probably not anytime real soon. But you still have the chance for some thunderstorm activity around your area here. What are the chances for weather in South Central Pennsylvania? Hey, I live over there too. Knowing our luck, depending upon where you live, good chance. If you're in Greencastle, though, not a good chance. Because they always have these mountains over here near Mercersburg that always blocks them. But yeah, we do have some severe storms that are moving on through into that general vicinity. Might be able to see it out of my window. I was looking for Jacksonville, Florida for today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, you guys are most likely going to see some severe storms. Most likely. Today, not as much. Check the velocities in Pittsburgh. Yeah, I can. Yeah, here's your strong storms. Might even have a little bit of rotation off to the north of it. That's what I've been watching. Little area of rotation. There is a tornado possible tag on the severe thunderstorm warning, and it would be near Bradford Woods, to where this could potentially be tornadic. So I guess we'll stay on just a little bit more. We don't want to stay on stream for too long here. As nice as you guys are, and as nice as it would be, I do have a little bit of stuff that I do want to take care of this evening. However, I will say this. If you guys do want to freely communicate with me, the best place to do it is on Discord. All right? Discord, I do have a server over there where we talk about weather and all sorts of stuff. If you want to, better your knowledge in weather and stuff like that, highly recommend going into my Discord server. I talk there, I don't want to say like frequently, but I talk there often. And so if you want to talk to me, whether you want to get to know me on a personal level, or if you want to talk to me based off of weather, questions about, if you're going to get impacted or stuff like that, feel free to do so. Join my Discord server. Link is in the chat. Because we do talk about weather quite a bit. Now, geez, that's absolutely insane. House is gone. That wall is gone. There's a tornado warning. There's the tornado warning right there. So tornado warning. This is for Allegheny, Beaver, and Butler counties, and that'll be in effect until the top of the hour, 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is kind of weird because they just issued this tornado warning and it only lasts for 8 minutes. So if you live near Warrendale, if you live near I-76, that would basically be the turnpike areas along the Bakerstown Station, Valencia, areas near Seven Fields. You guys need to go ahead and take your proper precautions. Get underground or get into your lowest innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet with no windows, so you can put as many walls between yourself and the tornadic rotation as possible. You can see here, based off of the reflectivity, clear classic hook within the line right here, inflow seeping in unimpeded. So right at the top of that little hook is where I anticipate the rotation to be, maybe even the tornado possibly to be. And you can see here, based off of the velocities, if I take a storm relative velocity, you guys might be able to see it a little bit better. And there we go. So these reds are moving away from the radar. The greens are moving towards. Right in the middle is where the tornadic rotation would be. And so if you live near Bakerstown, Valencia, Mars, Seven Fields, that general vicinity, you guys really need to go ahead and take your proper precautions, because this thing does have rotation and it could potentially consolidate into a tornado. If you could chase in any other country, where would it be? Heard France got some pretty good storms yesterday. Canada is very similar to the US. It's just, they're kind of pretty, the borders are pretty closed as of right now. Hope that's not too close for me. It's nowhere near me. I live in South Central PA. It's on the, not exactly the opposite side of the state, but it's a good half a state away. Now, if there is a tornado warning around my area later on this evening, then I probably will go chase it with my vehicle. And probably run into the tornado with my vehicle. Because I'm crazy like that. And I'm not joking. That's probably what I would do. What's up with the cool, damp weather in the southeast Michigan? What's up with this jet stream? Third name, hurricane in June. Wet, cool here. Wacky Naders in Chicago. Yeah, there's so much activity that's happened over the last bit. Yeah, third name tropical system, Claudette, was a couple days ago, and we could potentially be seeing a fourth one, a fourth tropical system by the beginning of next week into the end of that following week. So it would be from the time frame of June 27th all the way to July 3rd. The potential for a tropical system is possible. Yinzer Nation take cover. Yeah, a lot of the Yinzers over there in Pittsburgh. New severe thunderstorm warning out in front of this cell. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I still believe it could be up to 70 in some spots. The rotation is kind of diminished a bit, so that's the good news. But it seems as if the rotation in itself is north of Pittsburgh. So there is that. It's just the strong damaging winds that'll be approaching the Three Rivers City. I find it funny when we get typical PA storms at the time they reach the Susquehanna River. They die off real fast and then regain strength going towards Philly. I think that's just the end of the amounts of energy with it, and then just new thunderstorm initiation that forms. Let's see. Abracadabra. The song is stuck in my head. It's not even funny. I wanna reach out and run. Yeah, Pittsburgh is Western PA. this geography, I understand, is not people's strong points. But yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of strong thunderstorms that are moving on through here. The rotation, as I said, is pretty weak. Still broad rotation, but pretty weak. Even if I look up in the upper portions of the atmosphere, it seems to be very forced, so doesn't seem to be anything too significant, although there is a new tornado warning that now includes Beaver County, which will be in effect until 3:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So these guys are really issuing the weirdest tornado warnings. I don't know why they're not just issuing one giant tornado warning. Polygon like this. You know what I mean? Just do that. Instead of boop and then boop. It's like I'm playing Roblox. Almost. But yeah, new severe thunderstorm warning, or a tornado warning, I should say, which will be in effect for another 15 minutes. 3:15. There's the expiration of the old tornado warning. So they still believe that this thing has a little bit of rotation with it, which it does. It's just it's not in a good. It's not in good conditions right now. Structurally, I should say. We still see a little bit of rotation with this in the upper portions of the atmosphere, so that might be the contributing factor with this, but as of right now, it's kind of meh. We're only 12 subscribers away from 12,400, so that's pretty gnarly. Do I play STR with the boys? Sometimes. Depends. Thank you for the Maryland updates. No problem. Seems how I've lived near Maryland for most of my life. Might as well take advantage of my weather knowledge within this area, the climate and everything. Uh, I want to try something. You guys want to see something cool? I think I might have something cool for you all. Small stuff near Chambersburg? I know, right? I love how these thunderstorms are gonna go. They're gonna go to the northeast. They might even miss Chambersburg. And then obviously the other severe thunderstorms that are moving on through into the eastern panhandle. People are saying yes. Alrighty, let's go see cool stuff. You ready? We're going out to the middle of the ocean here. But hear me out. This is Guam. This is our little territory over in the Pacific. Got a bunch of Air Force bases over there. Pretty gnarly. But you know what else is gnarly? This tropical depression. Take a look at this thing. I'm going to see if I can get some frames up here for you all. Have this radar load quicker. Look at this. Look at this little gnarly tropical depression. It's pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. You know what else would be pretty cool? Hold up. If this works. Tropical storm watch, tropical storm warning. Okay, if this works, then my hypothesis on this will actually be pretty... Oh my goodness. It's in 3D. Let's go to 100 frames and then let's display settings, animation speed is in fast, so yeah, this is kind of gnarly, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, there it is. Look at how close it gets to Guam. You can see the little spin with it. Look at it go. Look at it go. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty crazy. I'm gonna move this over a little bit so you guys can have a better idea as to where this is. Yeah, look at it. Look at it. It's in 3D. And if we zoom in, look at it. Look at how gnarly that eye wall is. And then the bands that swirl in. Pull up velocity. Well, we can't do 3D velocity, unfortunately. Can do echo tops. That might not be a good idea, though. Yeah, not a good idea. Not a good idea. What about virtually integrated liquid? That's also not a good idea. I wonder. Just real quickly, I wonder. I want to see something here. And if it works, it works. Mesoscale 1. Does it reach this far, or we have to use the Himawari? Which, if it uses the Himawari, then that's also unfortunate. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, so we can't use satellite this far. Which makes sense, honestly. So far away from any actual radar. But you know what? That's fine. The fact that we have this is pretty insane. Here's your velocities that people wanted to talk about. And according to this, I'm not sure how high up in the sky we're looking at here. But we're looking up. I'd say we're looking up about. Hold up, wait. I think I can measure this. So we're 52 miles away at an elevation of 0.5. So we're probably looking up about 5,000 feet up in the sky. Say about 5,000 feet up in the sky. Is that about right? No, 3,000. About 3,000 feet up in the sky. So that was a bit wrong. Well, we also want to take a look at another way we can take a look at 3D. And here we go. Let's go to isosurface. And boom. Here's another version of 3D that we have. This is with GR2 Analyst. And that looks pretty gnarly. Yeah, look at that. Holy crap. That looks pretty cool. Holy. I can't stop looking at this. I'm not gonna lie. This is just mesmerizing. Well, that's your tropical system for you. Storm in Pittsburgh wasn't anything predicted. There wasn't really a whole lot of stuff that was anticipated for Pittsburgh besides strong damaging winds, to be completely honest with you. MH88, what's up? How do? Just got here, what's going on? We're just looking at random weather stuff for right now. We were talking about impacts with the severe weather, but then we kind of just went off the rails for a bit. And so we're talking about this tropical system over in Guam and how we took a 3D of that, how we took a 3D of the cell over in Guam as well, or the tropical system in Guam as well, by doing... What in the world? There you go. By doing this. It won't let me do 3D anymore. That's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, that's not there anymore, so. Oh well. Point being is, we got a lot of action here that we're talking about with the weather. Alright, let's go back to Pittsburgh over here. Getting a lot of reports of damage from trees down and stuff like that with all of these storms. So it's already showing how this could potentially be impactful in nature. Here's your 3D that I was talking about. This is the 3D I was talking about right here. While I was checking out Guam, a tornado sighted near Pittsburgh. Well, we were talking about the tornado warning over there. But as of right now, there isn't a tornado warning anymore with it. There isn't any official reports of a tornado from the National Weather Service. But there was a couple of tornado warnings that were issued. And it looks like the main band of storms is going to be heading off to the north of Pittsburgh, eventually across the areas near the turnpike. But then there could be another band of thunderstorms into the rear of this that are kind of south of Hookstown near Frankfort Springs. So basically, a bit further west of the airport, the international airport. That probably will be heading off further to the south and east towards Pittsburgh. Let's see. Give me a second, chat. If you can't chat in the Discord server, maybe you should go over to the rules and accept the terms of service. Because we do have rules over there. Do you think coastal New Jersey could get upgraded to a slight risk? Nope. Honestly, I think it'll die out before then. Yep, stay weather aware. You're definitely going to want to do so. Alright, well, here's your scattered thunderstorms that are now approaching my general vicinity. So that's fun. So I'm going to casually gravitate my analysis over to areas that are near me. But just for safekeeping, let's put Pittsburgh's radar up there as well, just to keep it there. Yeah, that also is a basically a good way of preventing raiders and stuff like that. Because a lot of raiders typically just bring in bots. They can't exactly spam if they don't have a channel to type in, so they'd have to manually accept all the rules. Or manually accept the rules by reacting to something with all of their bots. And that takes forever. So yeah, I got a little mini thunderstorms here. Let's see. I'm gonna go outside here real quickly. Do I have shoes in this place? I do have little tiny shoes. Yeah, real quickly. basically, I'm gonna go outside through my window, and I'm going to take a look and see what these thunderstorms are doing as they approach my area. Just curious, just curious. Curiosity didn't kill the cat. What in the heck was that? I don't think I want to know. Alright, it is hot. It is very hot. Kind of don't want to go outside anymore. Nope. We're going outside. Alright, well, we're starting to get gusts. Wind gusts over here. It's pretty gnarly. What I might actually do. I might actually do. I might go down to my car real quickly and get my weather station panel, bring it up here so that I can give you all updates as to how fast the winds are currently blowing in my area. Because there's not a whole lot of thunderstorms near me except for the one near McConnellsburg. This is just a scattered storm, nothing really tornadic over there. Although that storm, it doesn't look exactly... Yeah, nothing really too much just yet, but I'm thinking about getting my panel, bringing it up here so I could show you all how fast the damaging winds are. Take us chasing. See, I could do that. I kind of realized that I'm running into funds issues with how I live stream storm chasing. A lot more expensive than I thought it would be. I have a good way of doing it, but it's just low quality, and if I run out of service, I run out of service in some areas. So, yeah, let me get my panel. Let me get my panel from my car. As I said, I have a weather station in my car, or on top of my car, I should say. And so I'm going to bring my panel upstairs. Keep an eye on the conditions there. Okay. So this is pretty interesting. Pretty gnarly. Put my weather station thing right next to me. Alright, well, where we left off was the severe storms heading into Pittsburgh, and we do have reports of limbs down, trees down, power lines down, stuff like that. There is a new cell that could potentially be tornado warned here soon, and this will be near Burgettstown, as well as the Santiago areas, with McDonald, Oakdale, and Venice being in the crosshairs. So, if you guys live on the western side of Pittsburgh, more or less just kind of south of the international airport, I would highly advise you all really watch out for this storm. Because I would not be surprised if this goes tornadic here. I mean, we do have a classic hook signature right within here with the inflow coming in unimpeded. So we could get something. Excuse me. I'm gonna actually move my weather station right here so I can stay up to date with what the wind speeds are outside. People are requesting me to go over to Kentucky. So I shall. And there's quite a few thunderstorms here. Quite a few. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with most of these storms. As a matter of fact, I think that's the only thing here, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So if you're in the pathway of this, I would highly advise you all to go ahead and get indoors. I'm gonna see if I can find sky cams here in Pittsburgh. Oh, this is looking from the this is looking off to the this is looking off to the south. Crap. I'm trying to see if I can find something here. What highway is this over here? US 22, and if not, I-279. US 22. Of course it is. Of course it is. Probably be near Carnegie. Fun. Trying to find a camera here for you all. But this is very, this is a reoccurring thing here. Lena, what's up? Welcome to the live stream. PA Turnpike. Well, there we go. Might be a little bit better. Hey, it's Gettysburg. So, I know the Turnpike is on the eastern side of Pittsburgh. But if we look near, like, Monroeville, intersection of I-376. I can't remember off the top of my head which one, which exit is which. I know Breezewood's all the way over, so that's too far. Allegheny? Isn't that right at the tunnel? Looks like it's right at the tunnel. That's a nice picture, though. Yeah, the Allegheny Tunnel. That's a lot of rain. Yeah, I can't find a whole lot here. Who knew Pennsylvania's traffic cameras were not live? Washington County and Weirton, West Virginia? Don't say that, please. If you do, you're gonna give me hope. That's possible. Does have some pretty significant rotation with it. Wouldn't be surprised. Virtual Railfan I can't show on my YouTube channel because copyright reasons. Unless if I make some sort of partnership with them, but that'd be kind of lopsided because I can't really offer a whole lot. How's Dallas looking? They're fine. They're just getting some scattered thunderstorms. So you guys are in the clear. And there isn't really a whole lot that's occurring here. Just had to look outside there real quickly. Winds are gusting in upwards of double digits here, 10 miles per hour. Probably going to start to see higher amounts here pretty soon. Probably. Um... Yeah, I would not be surprised if that cell in Maine does go tornado warn. Let's actually put a radar up there. See if we can get it. Any of you guys know of a live camera near Pittsburgh at all? I know there's sky cams from Earth Cam. This is looking to the south. That's a giant bird. Pittsburgh's north side looking to the south. Oh boy. Gnarly. That's not a bad webcam. BBG paints, potentially. Nothing of true interest. Give me a second. Parks and nature. Ski slopes. I don't know where these clouds are going. They're looking off to the west. Alright, I don't know where the skiing place is, but this might be a good one. Laurel Mountain Ski Resort. I don't think they have anything over there. That's unfortunate. Snow depth cameras. Oh, that makes sense. Duh. These ski resorts are not actually that bad looking, not gonna lie. Of course, you know, I work over at Whitetail, so I have to say my resort is the best. Of course, but Hotsworth for lower Hudson Valley. National Weather Service put us at moderate risk of severe thunderstorms. They didn't put you all at a moderate risk. Put you all at an enhanced risk. Yeah, they put you all at an enhanced risk for severe weather. Yeah, this one might probably be the best one as of right now. Too far away? Well, fun. Weirton, West Virginia is getting a lot of lightning and thunder. Yeah. They're getting a lot of activity, to say the least. Is there any way... Is there, like, any skycam near that place that has, that's up along the mountain? And it's on the, kind of like the southern side of Pittsburgh. What river is that? It's not the Allegheny. I don't think it's the Allegheny, at least. It's the opposite one. Anyways, and there's this, like, little ride or whatever that takes you to the top of the mountain from the bottom near the river. And they're like, there's got to be a webcam near that. It's like overlooking Heinz Field and PNC Park. There's got to be. There's no way there isn't. And if there isn't, that's stupid. Like over here. This is what I'm talking about over here. There's like this little trolley area. This little thing that takes you up the mountain to the top. Can't remember where it is specifically, but I'm pretty sure people know what I'm talking about if they lived in Pittsburgh. Yeah, the Ohio, well, the Ohio River is the one that feeds into the two. There's like the Ohio River, and then there's like the two rivers that go off of the Ohio River. That's the reason why they call it the Three Rivers City over there. So you have the Ohio, you have the Allegheny, which is up to the north, and then you have the Monongahela River. Duh! West Virginian, you don't even know your own river. Fun. Yeah, over here in Mount Washington, this general vicinity up here. That's what I'm talking about. Here it is. Yeah, is it the Duckinsons? That's how it's pronounced, I believe. The Duckinsons Incline. This is what I'm talking about right here. There's gotta be a webcam somewhere up here. There's gotta be. There's no way there isn't. Overlooks the tower, overlooks Heinz Field, PNC Park. No, it would overlook practically all of Pittsburgh. That would be a perfect place to put a webcam. No way there isn't. If there isn't, then, fun. I really need to, like, block weather bugs somehow. Keep... Stupid. That was 2 years ago! Come on, man. That's stupid. Duquesne Incline. Oh, there we go. See, I don't live in Pittsburgh. I actually haven't traveled to Pittsburgh as much as I've traveled to Philly. I've traveled to Baltimore and DC more than that. More than both of them combined, so... Yeah, Duquesne. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Sharon, PA has a webcam. Does it? Is Sharon near Pittsburgh? They say they're in a thunderstorm warning and they're under the gun. I mean, oh my good God, what just happened over here in the Eastern Panhandle? Let's put this up here to that severe thunderstorm warning in Maine. What in the world? I better get this action. If I don't get this action. Memphis, Tennessee get any chance of tornadoes later? Probably not a chance for tornadoes, but a good chance of some severe thunderstorms with damaging winds. Is Bally, Pennsylvania going to be in the clear tonight? If you haven't gotten thunderstorms already, you probably will. That's my thing. So, Bally, Pennsylvania, south of Allentown. Yeah, you guys are still gonna, you guys are anticipated to get some thunderstorms that could move on through. Yeah, where is Sharon, Pennsylvania? Sharon's right on the border. They're not under the gun anymore. They're way past it. Can't spell. All right, well, I can definitely tell that it's pretty gusty over here in Pittsburgh. You can see the whale's mouth here. Strong damaging winds that'll be heading on through into the area. You can even see the trees here. I guess this is a good spot for us to kind of sit around. Nashville Skycam. There isn't really too much happening in Nashville at the moment, though. Never mind, there is. Huh. Oh, that's right near the arena. Just got nailed here in Pittsburgh. Oh yeah, Pittsburgh is currently getting a lot of stuff. Here's the sky cam of Pittsburgh. You can clearly see the ominous clouds right here. The rain would be to the rear of the camera, unfortunately. For whatever reason, there isn't a sky cam on the Duquesne Incline. There should be, but there isn't. So we're on the opposite side of the Allegheny here, looking towards the south, which doesn't do us all too all that good. The winds are starting to intensify over there. These cameras are not... Is that live? Yeah, it does look like it's live. We're just looking in the opposite direction. Trying to find Earth camera. Camera's unavailable. Thank you. Sent your DM on Twitter, a picture out west of Pittsburgh. Let's take a look at that. Because I do appreciate when people send over images of cloud pictures, and that actually doesn't look half bad. That's not bad. And that looks pretty gnarly too. You can even see how the clouds come down in a shelf form here. A weaker shelf cloud, but you have a lot of strong winds surging on through here. Yeah, that looks pretty gnarly right there. It's a good view too. Tornado warning in Maine. Would not be surprised at this point. I don't know why they issued it now. Yeah, I honestly have no clue why they issued the tornado warning just now. Probably should have issued it earlier. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. But the good news is that we were talking about it. And another good news here is if we pull up the NWS tornado here, this tornado warning only has 2 people who live here. Only 2. So, if one of the 2 people are watching my live stream at the moment, you probably should get into your safe space. But otherwise, this is pretty rural. It's far away, a little bit away from Clayton Lake. Yeah. So that's the good news. What the heck is going on outside? I don't know. Alrighty, let's go back to Pittsburgh. And we'll show the live camera here again. Look at the rain. Goodbye. Goodbye, visibility. Goodbye. Here's your shelf cloud that's rolling on through. And we're about to witness visibility basically plummet. Is the tornado in Maine on the ground? Probably not right now. Doesn't look like it. What in the... Yeah, what is going on outside? You're one of the 2? Well, if you are one of the 2, you should be in your safe space. Underground or lowest innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet. Do I prefer severe weather or tropical weather? I prefer both, but I'm more of a severe weather expert than a tropical weather expert. That does not mean I don't try and push myself to the best of my capabilities for tropics, because tropics is pretty hard. Where is this? This is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This is looking off to the south, and the visibility is basically plummeting over here. We are 6 subscribers away from 12,400. I appreciate... What? I didn't even know that existed. Cool. Now I know. Yeah, there's nothing... I mean, Nashville is... I'm still trying to look for that camera for Nashville, but there isn't really all too much to look for, because these storms aren't exactly approaching here soon. So we'll stay on to the, we'll stay on the Pittsburgh sky cam here. As I said, visibility is kind of plummeting here. Doesn't look as intense as it once was, though, just by looking at the these trees over here. What are the odds of that being one of the 2? I don't know what those odds are, and I'm not sure if that's even legit, but, you know, Not gonna try and say, show me proof, because that's kind of insensitive. Yeah, even if they aren't, still gonna want to say, hey, you might want to get in your safe space. Probably a good idea. Look at these ominous clouds. Look at how fast these clouds are racing. Where's this at? Alexander's Chevrolet camera? Where is this? This is... I'm going to have to assume this is near Dixon. But I could be wrong. Look at how fast those clouds are racing across. Can I do Meadford, Ontario? I sure can. Give me 2 seconds and I will get you your information. Aren't I in an enhanced risk today? I am in an enhanced risk today. For those of you who don't know what an enhanced risk, that is a 3 out of 5 on the severe weather scale. Okay, Meadford, Ontario. Let me get my trusty radar over here. And Meadford is over here. Let's get our radar out. And by the way, this right here, this little line, that's not any rain. Nothing of interest. So Meadford in itself is actually not seeing a whole lot of activity. But it is not too bad, actually. Temperatures are, they basically range from the low to mid 60s to maybe lower 70s in your area. See ya, Jolanda. Thanks for coming out to the live stream. Or Meaford. But yeah, that's what's happening over there at the moment. RA reports a damage in north of Dixon. Trees down parts of the county, including Highway 47 in Charlotte and Cumberland Furnace. Interesting. Pretty gnarly. Okay, well, chat, we went back to Pittsburgh's camera, and goodbye visibility. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. I can't see anything. Let's see if I can get something here. How close are these storms to the DC Bowie metro area? They're anticipated to go around your area at around 6 o'clock later on tonight. I know Bowie's a bit further to the north and east of DC, maybe a bit east. But played a couple of times over there playing hockey. Alright, let's look up. Live. Keep me logged in. Let's go to the map here. Let's go over to Pittsburgh. 6 mile per hour winds, 1 mile per hour winds, 7 mile per hour winds. Interesting. Trying to find here. Oh, okay. So the highest wind speed over in Pittsburgh so far recorded from this weather station. Pull this over here real quickly. Highest wind speed according to this weather station was 36 miles per hour. I'm gonna see if I can try and find some more. What's up, Evan? Welcome to the stream. Take a look at the bulletin for this one. Highest wind speed 17 miles per hour, but that's in downtown Pittsburgh. What about the Penn State Center weather stem? 29 mile per hour winds. This all seems pretty reasonable. Banksville wind speed highest is 12. So there must be something blocking that. Tornado warning in Maine, indeed there is. There's only 2 people who live in it. So if you live in that tornado warning, I highly advise you all to get into your safe space. 39 mile per hour wind right there, recorded from that weather station. Look at that. Overlay. Don't care about that all too much. What about this? 21 mile per hour winds. It's not as significant there. Hampton Township. This might be something. 32 mile per hour winds at 308. There you go. Under a severe thunderstorm warning in Clinton County. Would not be surprised. There's so many storms that are across the board. I mean, look at how many severe thunderstorm warnings we have. There's even severe thunderstorm warnings in southern portions of Quebec and Montreal. Look at that. Yeah, there is a lot of activity here, to say the least. Holy goodness gracious. Yeah, let's go over here. So, trying to cover as much area as possible. So basically all these thunderstorms could have the potential of 60 mile per hour wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. Basically all of them. This one over here has a tornado possible tag on it. So these are for the following counties. Steuben County. So if you're in Steuben County, this will be heading off into Corning, actually, the glass-making factory over there. The old glass-making factory over there. That general vicinity could potentially see some strong, severe storms. With a tornado possible as well, so that's pretty gnarly. Let's see if we can find some rotation here. I don't see any rotation, so I don't think it's that significant as of right now. Yeah, I don't really see too much rotation with it. But there still could be something. There still could be something. So we'll watch out for it. We're getting a lot of reports here of numerous trees down now. You know, the New Kensington areas. So let's actually real quickly, let's go over to New Kensington here. Um, how do I want to approach this? Do I want to go near Indianola, Oakmont? Yeah, I think it's just New Kensington's probably the best. Yeah, 39 mile per hour winds. What about Bakerstown? All right, that's a lot of contamination, so that didn't really work out too well. Ah, current wind speed 37 miles per hour. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. No, it doesn't. Visibility is still gone here within this camera. Can I cover Central Kentucky, please? I sure can. Central Kentucky at the moment is currently getting a lot of scattered thunderstorms. There is an area that does have a flash flood warning, which does consist of Boyle, Cassie, and Marion counties, which that'll be in effect until 6:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. But some of these other storms really aren't as significant, unless if you live near the areas of Jackson and Berryville, in that general vicinity. So that area, it has the only severe thunderstorm warning, which would be for Owsley, Breathitt, Lee, and Wolfe counties. And that'll be in effect for another 17 minutes, so until 4:15 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And then there's this other severe thunderstorm warning south of that for Owsley, Leslie, Perry, Breathitt, and Clay counties until 4:30 p.m. So 60 mile per hour wind gusts is possible with that, but these other severe thunderstorms, or at least not exactly severe, they're just kind of thunderstorms for right now. These do have special weather statements with this. They could produce 50 mile per hour wind gusts, but nothing significant. Cincinnati Metro going to get severe storms tonight? I personally think they won't. I think you guys are in the clear. Huntsville, Alabama, you guys could get something. Well, you're getting something right now, actually. You have a special weather statement over your area for 40 mile per hour winds, maybe even 50 in some spots. Personally, I think you guys are not completely done with your severe threat. I think you guys can get another line of storms later on this evening. Probably into the overnight hours, late evening overnight hours. So I would watch out for that too. But as of right now, nothing tornadic that I can report. I can just say that it's some gusty winds here within this. Can there be thunderstorms in Charlotte, North Carolina? Tomorrow. Tomorrow there could be. Torrington, Connecticut? Yeah, give me a second. So that is off to the east of, or the east of the Hudson River. So Torrington, as of right now, there's not any thunderstorms around you all. But if we take a look at the models here, so we'll have to back out of the sky cam and go over to Hartford, Connecticut for this one. By the overnight hours, you guys could be getting some scattered thunderstorms that could move on through. Anything during the day, though. That's the one thing that I will say. So, yeah, according to these models, it does think that right around 11 or 12, 11 p.m., 12 a.m., that's when you guys could potentially get some activity. Maine tornado warning? Yeah, there is a tornado warning in Maine. Thank God only 2 people live in it. But it doesn't really look all too impressive at the moment. Excuse me. We're 5 subscribers away from 12,400, guys. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really do appreciate it. I really do. All right, let's go back to Pittsburgh. There's still a lot of reports of damage across the board here. Here's your massive line of storms here that are all within that general vicinity. A lot of strong damaging winds. Wouldn't be surprised if areas out in front of that near Scottdale could get some activity. New severe thunderstorm warning south of me. Oh boy.
Protection moved to an interior room on the lowest floor of the building.
Alright, well, we're about to hear my weather radio go off a bunch of times because we have a couple of storms that are currently approaching me, and some of which could be severe. One of which might actually could be tornadic, so we'll have to see, but is this... Yeah, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts with that. You're in Indiana, Pennsylvania. All this just thunderstorms. So give me a second, I'll have to figure it out. Parkersburg, West Virginia, you guys are actually facing some severe thunderstorms here. Right next to you all. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts and penny-sized hail is expected within your area. Here is your storm. And here's Parkersburg, of course. And you can see how... You can see how this storm has progressed and has moved on through. And so, yeah, I think you guys could definitely see some 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Maybe on the northern side of Parkersburg, towards Vienna, Dunham, towards the airport, that general vicinity. I think that would probably be where the worst damaging winds are. But... Alright, Indiana, Pennsylvania. Is off in front of Pittsburgh. So yeah, you guys could definitely see some strong damaging winds. I definitely see it possible. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but if you're further south of that, storms moved out of the area. Did that severe thunderstorm warning get canceled? No, it's just this one right here. Okay, so yeah, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts is possible with this. I definitely think you guys aren't getting the major part of the actual storm. I think areas near Homer City, Blacklick, and Armagh is going to see worse impacts. But you still could see something here. Still could see something. So guys, real quickly, Sterling, Virginia, they're not getting impacted at the moment, but they could later. Real quickly, I'm gonna look outside, because I got a bunch of storms heading off into my general vicinity. And, by the way, if I do go into a tornado warning, I'm going to chase it. So I'll probably have to end the stream and then create a new live stream. Let me go ahead and charge my phone up a little bit more. Start a new live stream. You guys will watch me chase. Most likely. that a fire? Yo, there's a fire off to my west. What in the... Alright, so it's sprinkling at the moment. There's smoke off to my west. And that's my weather radio. Yeah, I can tell the difference between clouds and smoke. And there's a literal fire off to my west. That's in Virginia. I might be lightning that caused the fire, but there's definitely smoke rising from the ground over there. So there's the severe thunderstorm warning, so it's attacking Stevens City. That's where the drive-in theater is over there. Interesting. Let's see the fire. Let's see if I can get my phone. See if I can get my phone. Log out. Log in. Not a robot. Let me in. Let me in. There we go. All right, we got it. We got it, we got it, we got it, we got it. My alt is gonna call me. We're gonna mute my alt. There we go. I'm gonna turn on my camera. Go full screen. I'll pop this out. Yeah, pop out window. There we go. All right, I'll show you guys what I mean. Fire, 100%. New thing.
Miles per hour with gusts.
Jeez.
Source, radar indicated. Impact, damaging winds will cause some trees and large branches to fall. This could...
What the heck was that? I don't know what that was. Okay. So I kind of muted myself. So that's all I got. Pretty gnarly. And I love how you guys couldn't see anything. Guys, I'm not very good at this, apparently. I'm not very good at this. You know what? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it right there. Big Thunder. But there's the fire again. As I said, you see the ground. Take 3. That's off to the west towards Mercersburg, I should say. So boom. Okay. Well, this is what we got for now. There we go. Fixed it. Don't look at me. I got no clue as to what's going on. No one ever said I was good at this. No one ever said I was good at this. Yeah, that's strong damaging winds off to my south. Strong storms off to my north. Wonder if we could see the fire from radar. We can't see it, but there's a fire off to my west, which is pretty gnarly. What do you mean I was muted for 10 minutes? Of course I was. Of course I was. Of course. Okay. So, I had to do that real quickly. I know there was no audio whatsoever, but I had to do that. Yeah, just my thing couldn't do anything with that. Phone's being stupid. But the interesting thing that I saw was that there is a little bit of developing rotation with it. A little bit of developing rotation with that. And it was right over here. So it might be a little mini supercell that's trying to form off. There's another supercell over here near Clear Spring. And then there's also obviously this tornado warning over here. We're going to actually move this radar over here towards Parkersburg. And it's on the northern end of it. Let's see what the highest wind were. 14 miles per hour. As of right now, it's not all too gusty either. But I was just talking about how there was a little bit of spin, a little bit of rotation over me. So it's pretty gnarly to see that. And yeah, there's definitely a little bit of rotation over here in Ohio along the Ohio River. So this is Washington County in southeastern Ohio and Pleasants County in northwestern West Virginia. That'll be in effect until 4:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. There is a tornado warning here. So if you guys live anywhere along the Ohio River here, north and east of Parkersburg, you guys really have to go ahead and take your proper precautions. Underground or lowest innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet. To chase or not to chase, that is the question. Because there is definitely a lot of hail with this, and this storm definitely is intensifying. If I were to chase, I would run out of real estate really quickly. And what the heck is that down south of me? Hold up. Look out my window again. There's going to be a lot of looking out of windows here. Alright, so I definitely see something off to my south a little bit. So I'll share my screen here again. Pop out. Do this. Little slipper action. Don't really care all too much. Let's see if I can turn off. There we go. There's my camera. Look at that. Look at that off to my south. You got your shelf cloud off over there. Right about over here. Shelf cloud. And then displacement over right within this general vicinity. This is typically where you find funnels off on the northern end of the bow echo that surges out. Then, of course, massive line of storms that are about to envelop me. Visibility is plummeted. And again, pretty hard to see on my phone anyways. Definitely really gusty, I will say that much. Look at how fast these clouds are moving, guys. Look at how fast these clouds are moving. Those clouds are racing off. It's hard for me to hold my phone here. I'm gonna hold my phone still like this. You guys can see. Look at how fast they are moving across. That is some very strong storms right there. see anything tornadic. I see a lot of rising scud, don't get me wrong. But I don't see too much. There might be something off with that right there. That over there. There could potentially be something. That's a huge shot of thunder right there. A lot of rising scud. I'm about to get slammed by this wall of rain here. I'm going to try and hold out as long as I can before getting back to the analysis. But my goodness, these clouds are racing across. Yeah, I do not see any rotation with this. I mean, I see little pockets of spin, but it's not like it's a funnel. You know what I mean? This is starting to get pretty gnarly. I'm not going to lie. Look at the trees. Look at my little weather station on top of my car. Goodbye! I'm doing the exact opposite of what you should do. There goes the visibility. Visibility's starting to really plummet. I still don't see any spin. No tornadic rotation on the gust front across. But, oh yeah, goodbye. There goes trees. Oh yeah, that thing's bending. Bending across. I'd say these are winds in upwards of 30 miles per hour, maybe 40. Visibility's starting to plummet here. Oh, that was a gust. Huge gust. As I said, I'm going to try and hold out. That seemed to be the main part of it. It's another wind gust right there. What I'm going to try and do, actually. Here, hold up. Yeah, you're kind of getting slammed at the moment.
I was going to call and show you my little beautiful view here.
Oh, yeah.
Coming up on the.
I'm starting to get pretty strong gusts. Big gust!
Coming at the top of the hill.
Talking to my mom right now because she's driving through this. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Visibility has plummeted with this significant rain.
Are you showing it?
Oh yeah, visibility is gone. Yeah, it's showing me. Big gust! Big gust! Big wind gust! You can't see it, but holy crap. I've never seen this tree bend like this. Holy crap. There's thunderstorms. Finally, my first severe thunderstorm warning of the season. I'm finally in a severe thunderstorm. Alright, I'm gonna try and tell you all what the highest were for the winds. According to this was about... Jeez, yeah, it's still going. I think the tree might be bent, Ma. Just by looking at that tree, I'm thinking 40 to 45 mile per hour winds. New tornado warning, another one for Maine. Ma, what are you driving in? Jeez. Yeah, this is all in a severe thunderstorm watch. No tornado watches here right now. Just had to take a look. See me freak out like Reed Timmer with severe thunderstorms. Jeez. Big time wind gust with this. Alright, well, I just experienced that firsthand, and I know exactly what people out in front of this most likely will get. Maybe even worse than that. So, if you are in the line of these storms... highly recommend you guys get into a sturdy structure. Because this is definitely... a lot of activity here across the board. And you can hear it outside of my door. Outside of my window. How intense the thunder is as it's rolling. Yeah, it's my first severe thunderstorm warning this year. All the other severe thunderstorm warnings have been literally like a couple miles north, south, east, or west of me. Storms chase Nate. Yeah, imagine. Look at these massive lines of storms over here in Pittsburgh, too. It's not just this line that just formed. Look at this massive line over here from Pittsburgh. Holy. We're gonna go... I think I can go half and half screen. I put that right there. And then we go do this. Do that. Then we do Discord. Not what I wanted. Discord null. There we go. I'll show you all. There. That's what's currently happening outside. It's all pretty peace and calm right now, but the parts of the tree, the top of it, is leaning off to the left-hand side. So that's some real wear and tear on that tree. There goes my phone. There goes my phone. It's probably not the best idea to put this up. But regardless, it's a pretty gnarly thunderstorm that went on through here. There's no way there is baseball-sized hail in Gettysburg. The storm hasn't even got there yet. Another tornado warning. This is... Jeez. Aren't I glad I started to live stream all this? Look at this near Rutland. Look at that storm near Rutland. That thing might actually try and consolidate again. Holy crap. Family really close to the tornado that was near Pace, Florida. Close to having another panic attack. I'm close to having another... Well, exactly, it's not a panic attack, but... Jeez. Did you get any of what I just got in Lebanon? Most likely. Most likely you will. But yeah, there's a pretty intense rotation here near Rutland. It'll be heading off to the Pomeroy areas, off to Chester and Reedsville. So if you live over there, highly recommend you guys go ahead and take your proper precautions. Underground or lowest innermost part of your building. Can do a 3D scan of this? No, it's a little too far. Well, actually, it's not too far away from the radar. I might be able to get away with it. I might be able to. I'll have to see. We're getting some reports of tree damage across the board here. One near Romney with trees down on Northwestern Pike near Stony Lonesome Road. And then we've got another one near Inwood. A tree down on the 1200th block of Stonebridge Road. So that's south of the regional airport. See that tornado in Woodridge yesterday? 15-20 minutes to the northwest. Uncle's friends just got completely demolished. Yeah, I wasn't live on this channel. I was live with Morgan last night. Just trying to help him out because I couldn't get the live stream up quickly enough. Let's see. Trying to see if I can get some more stuff here. There is so much thunderstorm activity right now. So much of it. Yeah, that was my first severe thunderstorm right there. Severe thunderstorm warning of the year. So that's pretty gnarly. If this supercell right here, mini supercell near Marion and Greencastle, was able to continue to move about, that thing might have been able to actually produce something, but good thing it didn't. Good thing it didn't. But yeah, here's your massive consolidated line that's now actually starting to head towards DC. This right here might actually become tornadic here soon. That'll be heading off to Leesburg. That's heading off into Loudoun. This is Loudoun County. So more stuff to watch out for. West of Waynesboro looks a bit interesting. Yeah, basically this entire area from Waynesboro to Greencastle. A lot of thunder here soon. Still, I should say. We have 35 severe thunderstorm warnings at the moment. 35. I'm not exactly sure if I can keep up with this. Pretty crazy. Sterling, Virginia could get some thunderstorms here later on this evening. Later on, though. Jeez, there's so much. All right, we're gonna put one radar up in Maine. We're gonna put another radar over in New York. Is that the way to go? Yeah. Another radar in New York. Lightning hit a tree and blew out the bottom of the tree. The tree is on fire in New York. So there was a lightning strike that also caused a fire in New York as well. Yeah, that seems to be the move. We'll get another radar up here. And I'll move this other stuff to Kentucky. Jeez, look at how many thunderstorms there are. Actually, let me just let me go to the MRMS and look at all this. Oh, look at how this all progressed. All the red boxes in the middle of your screen, that's all severe thunderstorm warnings. All of that is severe thunderstorm warnings. or watches, I should say, severe thunderstorm watches. All the yellow, small yellow boxes, that's severe thunderstorm warnings, and the red boxes, the real deep red boxes, that's your tornado warnings. It's like kind of the pinkish. It's pretty gnarly. Alright, let's go back full screen here. Close my window. And I'll turn that off until I get another band of storms later on, which I probably won't. Probably won't, but I could get some. But yeah, I mean, just look at this. Within the next 8 to 11 days, Cat 1 hurricane could make landfall near Pensacola. This isn't a forecast. Just making sure people in or near Pensacola are prepared in this case. Well, that's what we were talking about earlier within the tropical update. As I said, you know, I know other weather YouTubers have been saying that there could be a this hurricane that goes into the Gulf, but they're not exactly showing their work in this instance. They're just going off of one model. So you're going to have to, in order for you to really understand as to where the tropical system could go, you really are going to have to look at what the environment is around it. And most of the weather YouTubers haven't really done that. I did show what was happening with the environment around it earlier. I could do that again here. But there isn't expected to be a landfall. Well, we don't exactly know where the landfall could be at the moment. But the latest run of the GFS did say it would take it towards Pensacola. But more than likely, it'll be somewhere within the Gulf of Mexico. And it looks like there's this boundary that's going to be moving about here into the United States, according to this run, which is the reason why I took it a bit further east. But the run earlier actually made it so that it took it a bit further west, and it hit places like Texas. But in this case, the thing of it is that there's a lot of moisture here in the Gulf of Mexico into the Caribbean. It's basically all around, if I can back it up again here, all this kind of dark green area, if I back it up a bit more, this is all moisture for tropical systems to form into. There's not a lot of brown within this instance because there's not as much dry air. All of this is pretty moist. So you could have thunderstorms that form somewhere within here, create a lot of convergence, and create potentially a tropical cyclone that could move on through. So that right there is plausible. The landfall and the severity of this, you have to wait and see, because if you do get a low pressure system that moves on through here somewhere, you know, somewhere within here, it'll have to depend upon the boundary moving on through with it, because the boundary could steer this off to the left, to the right, stuff like that. Sorry for blinding you all. If there isn't a boundary, this thing could continue to move on through into like Texas and Louisiana and stuff like that. But it all depends upon what happens with this activity here in the United States in order for us to determine as to where this landfall is. But to say that it's going to be a tropical storm or a hurricane or something like that, as of right now, can't really say a whole lot. But a lot of moisture. The main reason as to why this moisture is here in the first place is because of this tropical wave that we were talking about 5 days ago. It had a chance of development earlier on, and then it encountered a lot of this brown colors here, this dry air. But now it's starting to head further and further into more of a favorable environment. And by the beginning of next week into the end of next week, we could be talking about another tropical system. And I do make videos almost every single morning, so I'll be updating you all as to what this could potentially do. I didn't make one this morning because I was pretty tired. And I was on the live stream with Morgan last night talking about the Chicago tornado. But yeah, to say if it's going to be a powerful hurricane or not, That's just not plausible at this time. And if it does turn out to be one, well then, luck turned out to be in someone's favor. But we can't say it is as of right now. Let's go to upstate New York here. Take a look at a couple of these thunderstorms. And there's a lot of activity here from Corning all the way up into Syracuse. With a lot of strong damaging winds. Nothing too tornadic that I see here. No tornado possible with most of these storms. So I think this is relatively tame for that. But it would be a lot of strong damaging winds that I would foresee from this. Yeah, both of these storms have pretty good rotation with it. Would I ever fly into a reconnaissance plane? Yes, I would. I hope they would take me. I'm just kidding. Some hurricane experts will say that there will be a hurricane by the end of June. It'll be the beginning of July rather than the end of June. If there is one. But there's just, the timetable is too small of a window, and it doesn't look like it'll take advantage of it until July. So that's my one thing about it. Yeah, I don't think they, National Weather Service Charleston knows where this rotation is along the Ohio River anymore. So I can't say that, I can't say where this is going officially. I think the rotation's kind of fanned out a little bit. But there definitely was something here. There definitely was. What's up, Daniel? How do? Jeez, these storms are really pushing about. Let's go over to State College's radar. What's this Athens, Ohio warning about? Athens, Ohio. I have to figure out where Athens, Ohio is first off, so give me a second. Athens, Ohio is in the clear right now. It's just the part of your county is in the severe thunderstorm warning. Or it was in a tornado warning, but it's not in it anymore. So Athens is in the clear. Do I think we're going to get more storms up there in Friday in Illinois again? I'd have to see, honestly. I haven't been looking that far out in the models. Does it even reach Friday? No, it does not. Thursday, you guys could get something. And Friday, yeah, you guys could get something, too. But Thursday or Friday probably have to be the day watching out for. All I got was a sprinkle, and now it seems we are done. Yeah, here's the thing. Areas down that far south really are kind of, yeah. Their severe weather season is really done and over with. There isn't a whole lot of stuff for them to do. Besides tropical weather, of course, but a lot of tree damage across the board here. Any tornadoes today or just warnings so far? A lot of warnings so far, but we've had a lot of reports of tree damage. Lot of tree damage across the board. Many of these storms are strong, not severe. Well, it depends because most of these have sustained winds at 50, but it's the gusts that they're worried about. So it's not exactly the boy who cried wolf scenario. It's just they don't take it too seriously because they haven't seen the action themselves. They just think it's weather. Which, that's just how the general public is. Yeah, there's a lot of tree damage across the board here. Trees down in and around Stevens City, which that makes sense. That's some strong damaging winds. That's really close to the surface there. Is this what, 70-mile-per-hour winds right there? Yeah, 70-mile-per-hour winds and $half size hail warned for these cells heading into Leesburg. So yeah, would not be surprised with that. Is the storm in Loudon tornadic? Can't exactly say it's tornadic right now, but it could be. It could be turning tornadic if it gets if it surges itself out a bit more. Is my mom safe? She should be fine. Yeah, she's home. She just got home, actually. Many trees down on roads from Waynesboro to Greencastle. Well, there you go. So this thing really intensified right over us. Get a DC cam? Well, it's not in DC yet. This thing is really far away from DC. Look at this. It's not even going to get to DC in an hour. It'll be 2 hours. What am I thinking for New York City area? Don't mind me asking, too much capping inversion, right? That's not exactly the case. It's just it's too late in the evening for things to continue to sustain. So I'm assuming it's just a lack of energy. There's the DC cam you wanted me to look at. Restoration time? No, 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 no. What else is around here? What other populous areas? Any thoughts on extreme southern New Jersey? Yeah, you guys could get some severe storms, but it probably won't be all too significant by the time you get it gets there. So it's like right on the border of being severe and not, I would have to say. Let's take a look at these tornado warnings again up here in Maine. I know there's not really impacting anyone, but I am curious. It's in a good environment too. Velocity's not bad. Spectrum width is not bad either. Pretty bad echo tops. Jeez. Little mini supercells, I guess. There you go. Can Rhode Island get some storms tonight? I'm not expecting them to get too much, honestly. Is my mom okay? Yeah, she just got home. She should be fine. Jeez. I want to see something. Jeez. Yeah, this entire line is severe. I could basically draw lines of damage from all across the board. What's helicity? It's spin within the atmosphere. Veering within the atmosphere, I should say, not exactly spin. What does a fella have to do to get northwest flow severe event here in the northeast? Depends upon how the low pressure system moves about, I guess. Yeah, Gettysburg's about to get slammed by some large hail here. 60-mile-per-hour wind gust, quarter-size hail with that. So, yep. And then, of course, we got the other line of storms behind, so I might actually get 2 lines of storms, which that's making me curious. It might not get all the way over to me, though. It might. Yeah, there's the storms for extreme southern Jersey at around midnight right there. So you guys can get something. Can we get a cam in Rockville, Maryland? I don't believe they have live cameras over in Rockville. They are pretty rich over there, so that might. They might. Economy's pretty good over there. Anywhere around DC really has a good economy. So, tornado warning in Canada. What? There is a tornado warning in Canada. It's in Quebec. Let's go see that. Let's go see the tornado warning. Oh, yeah. Potential tornado right here. Looking at the velocities. It's too low to the ground. Data's 3 hours old. Are you serious? Thanks for doing me a solid. Yeah, there's definitely some rotation over here within the cell. Let's change reflectivity. So as I said, tornado warning here in Canada. It expires in another hour and a half or hour and a quarter. So if you're near St. Alzem, St. Clair, St. Malchy, areas north of St. Marie, near Highway 73, you guys need to go ahead and take your proper precautions. Get into your safe space. I think this thing really started to consolidate here within the past couple of minutes. I don't see anything uh, indicating debris. That's the good news. Climate change, there's no way around it. I mean, it is... We are undergoing climate change, but that's not the reason why there's so much severe weather here. Canada gets tornado warnings too. On average, they actually get 200 tornadoes a year, so... Now, we can't just blame everything on climate change. The weather functions the way it wants to. It's all patterns. New tornado warning for Pennsylvania. Where? Greene County? Oh, that's over like in Pittsburgh, I believe. Off near Pittsburgh. Yeah, it's in Pittsburgh's jurisdiction right there. That's north of Morgantown. So new tornado warning here. It's for Greene County in Pennsylvania. That'll be in effect until 5:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's some pretty strong rotation with it too. This thing really started to consolidate. The good news is that this isn't anticipating... I'm not anticipating this to hit anyone as of right now. It's going to go north of New Freeport. It's going to go north of Brave. It's going to go south of Windridge. And it most likely will be south of Waynesburg as well. So, but if you are north of New Freeport, if you are north of Brave and Blacksville along the border of West Virginia and Pennsylvania, off to the north and west of Morgantown, highly advise you all to go ahead and take your proper precautions. Underground or lowest innermost part of your building, particularly a bathroom or a closet. Jeez, yeah, there's so many reports now. Let's actually go over to the Storm Prediction Center and take a look at the storm reports here. Yeah, we have 114 storm reports here so far from wind. That's unfiltered. Filtered is 93. And we have one tornado report, which was in Louisiana. A tornado report in Louisiana. Okay, well, that's nice and all. Huge severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, so this includes I-70 all the way down to 66. That's crazy. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Jeez. Very humid air can compensate for weaker cold fronts. Depends upon how much CAPE you have. Depends upon how much convective available potential energy you have. If you don't have a lot, then not all is going to be done. But because there's a lot of convective available potential energy today, it's the reason why there's so much that's happening right now. Just had a funnel that had dust under it. Where? Where at? Oh, you reported that. Gnarly. Called in a report and video. Oh no, they had a video of it. Said there was a tornado. But yeah, pretty cool. Woodridge tornado was just rated EF3. Jeez. It's a tornado in southern Quebec. My goodness. Yeah, look at that tornado right there. Holy crap. This is not what you should be doing. You shouldn't be outside during the tornado. Look at that. Very strong looking tornado right there too. And it just grew in size. He's driving to get out of the way. Look at that. He said nope. And that's in Quebec too. That's in Canada. It's summertime, that's when they typically get it. Yeah, this guy right here. He's chasing the crap out of it. EF1, that was in Pella yesterday. So that's gnarly. NWS Chicago. Yep, so there's EF3. Continuing the survey and additional preliminary info will be available in the coming days. So they haven't given the report yet. Official report yet. But yeah, that's EF3 right there. That's pretty gnarly. What? Yeah, that's having a whale of a time. Let's go back to the cell over here in Montreal. Or not Montreal, south of Quebec. Actually, we might be able to see the cell that was over in Montreal. If we back it up. Go over to this radar. Oh, there it is. I think it's this cell right here. Looks like it. Either that or it's these little cells up to the north. Jeez. Yeah, that's pretty gnarly. And we still got the storm over here. Near St. Henri. So many severe thunderstorm warnings now. And then there are 2 random tornado warnings in Maine. My good friends in Frederick are now getting impacted by the damaging winds. Oh, they're alright, but I think they will be. I think they'll be fine. What radars do I use? I use Radar Omega and GR2 Analyst. Radar Omega is the cheaper option, and it also gives you warnings in Canada if you wanted to see it. I definitely recommend this for people who want to start out by looking at radar. It costs $9, not including tax. And then GR2 Analyst is the other one that I use. It's the best one money can buy, but it is $250. Let's see. Looks like I'm using an ad blocker. Well, of course I am. Don't tell me I actually have to. Bruh. Okay, let's see. Can't see anything. Airportwebcams.net. Alright, well, this is why we resume our ad blocker here and we try and find a webcam. It's not what I wanted. How about it's always Weatherbug. I hate Weatherbug. Weatherbug's stupid. There's Reagan. WJLA Tower Cam. That's not bad. It's always, I hate Weatherbug. I'm sorry. It's just Weatherbug is the stupidest thing. Stupidest thing. Tell me, it is Weatherbug. Of course it is. Is there a way for me to block Weatherbug from ever showing up? Can I take a quick look at Tennessee? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Take a quick look at this tornado warning. Looks like it still has a little bit of rotation. We'll come back to that in a bit. Let's see. Eastern Tennessee. This would be near Jefferson City and stuff like that. So these storms are currently heading off towards Clinton. Areas near Clinton and Norris and I-75. This will be well north of Knoxville, though. Well north of Knoxville. So that's the good news with this, is that it looks like Knoxville won't be directly impacted by this. But regardless, if you are, well, otherwise I should say, if you are north of Knoxville, guys could get some pretty significant storms here relatively soon. Let me move this back. There we go. So there you go. You can see how this actually looks and appears like it's going to basically scratch the northern portion of Knoxville. But other than that, not really too much of a huge threat. And then other areas north of Morristown, like near the Rogersville area, heading about along Highway 25 East. There is a lot of thunderstorm activity right along there. So if you're near Rogersville, Churchill, Kingsport even, that's where these storms are going to head off into your general vicinity. And I highly recommend staying in a sturdy structure. The good thing about these storms is that they don't seem to be tornadic. I'm looking at even just this in general. I'm looking for specific kinks in the line, and I don't see any. All right, let's go back. Atlanta's going to be impacted tomorrow, so they'll be fine. And updates like every 5 seconds, so that's not too bad. That's not how you spell Washington, D.C. sky cameras. Kennedy Center cam. I think this camera right here is probably going to be the best one for us as this approaches DC. The one on top of the Washington Monument, of course. Yeah, there is a tornadic storm near Ashland, Maine. It's not exactly all too significant. That's the good news. But regardless, still a pretty strong storm that's moving about. Yes, there is a tornado warning in Quebec. I'll keep the radar up there. They're probably going to issue a new tornado warning out in front of this. They probably will. Yeah, the Naperville tornado last night. Preliminary damage rating of a 140 mile per hour EF3. Huh. Updates the tornado warning now. Issued the tornado warning. There you go. Supercell composite of 8 and violent tornado parameter of 2 in eastern PA. That's not too high. It's pretty low, actually. New tornado warning in West Virginia. This is for Calhoun, Ritchie, and Wirt counties. Yeah, this is the county that I keep bragging about with the original names. Wirt County. That'll be in effect until 5:45 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Jeez. Excuse me, I'm really tired. Just by looking at the storm, it doesn't look all too impressive. It was pretty strong. It did look like it probably consolidated for a brief moment, but then it gusted out a bit further. So I would say right when this tornado warning ends, that's when this tornadic system kind of ends a little bit. From a tornadic perspective, I should say. The storms from Pittsburgh have died out. It's not as much of a thunderstorm risk over there, but if we take a look up north into New York, that's a different story. Look at this. How many severe thunderstorm warnings there are now? Still 29 of them. Can I check York? I sure can. York's not too far away from me, too. But they do have some strong storms moving about over there. 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail is possible with that. I don't think it will be as intense as that, per se. But spread trees, multiple trees down. Yeah. I think the main activity will be off to your south. So further south along I-83 towards the Loganville and the Shrewsbury area. I think that's where the main activity is going to be. Even Red Lion probably see the worst of your activity, but York definitely could see some activity over there as well. Excuse me. It might go a bit. It might hit a little bit of Harrisburg for this, but there's probably going to be another line of storms that'll move on through. Most likely. Is there still a tornado warning in Maine? Yes, there is. Do you see a TDS in Maine? No, it's just inflow. You circle this area here with, here, let me change it to black. You circle this area right within here. We switch it to correlation coefficient. The blue is right within it, so therefore it is air that it's picking up. A lot of air, though. A lot of moisture seeping into it. Look at that, chat. Shelf Cloud City right here. Pretty gnarly line of storms. Let's exit out of that. So there's that original line. Might get some more activity tomorrow morning too, so there's that. There's Claudette. There's the tropical system. They changed the Eastern Pacific. Still 50% chance. Okay. So I wanted to look at that real quickly. They need to put more severe thunderstorm warnings out. There isn't enough. I think there's enough. They're covering a pretty large area, to be completely honest with you. A lot of wind damage over near Wartburg in Tennessee. Trees down. It's almost as if it's the same report. A few trees down, a few trees down, a few trees down. A tropical wave will increase. I have a bad feeling about that. Yeah, beginning of July, definitely will have a lot more moisture seeping into the Caribbean. Alright, so I do have some stuff that I have to do later on tonight. So, I probably will end the live stream here soon. Probably will. That's not legit. Did Twitter just crash? I think Twitter might have just crashed. That's kind of funny. Ooh, reports of damage in Boulevard. A couple of trees down in Harper's Ferry. That makes sense. Makes a lot of sense, actually. Seems how winds are channeled right into between the two mountains where the Potomac River is. That makes sense. Excuse me. Um... They really went ahead and pulled the trigger on the Chesapeake Bay. They said, don't boat out here. These storms are too strong. Don't do it. They already pulled the trigger for the special marine warning. Trees down in Leesburg now. As we kind of figured. This will continue to trend into that. Let's just go full screen here. Look at the shelf cloud here. Yeah, there isn't really too much to talk about right now besides a bunch of severe thunderstorms. As I said, I do have stuff that I do want to do tonight. So, soon as this gets closer and closer to DC, maybe even passes DC, then that's when we'll end the live stream. Not saying that the threat is over by any stretch of the imagination. I'm just saying I do have stuff I want to do that is important to me, so. Do that. Do that. Don't really care about that as much. Trying to think here. As I said, there's not really much to talk about. I'm just trying to make it in, trying to make this kind of enjoyable, but it's really kind of dead at the moment. It's the same exact thing over and over and over again. Got 115 wind reports now. That's filtered. I love how there's the one casual storm report in Florida. You know what? I'm curious. It's a little off topic, but I want to see it. What did it say? What did it say? Here it is. 59-mile-per-hour wind gust at the Lakeland Regional Station. Is that the only area in the U.S. with severe weather at the moment? Yeah. And of course, the tornado warning that's over in Canada, that storm's moved out of the actual warning box. So you know. See, there's Pittsburgh. Still have the one tornado warning in Maine. Yeah, I don't see a debris signature on that, so that's the good news. We'll put the radar down here. That's it. We're doing it. We're putting the radar down here in Morristown and Knoxville. See you later, Jonathan. See you later. Hmm. Jeez. That's hilarious. I just looked at something on Twitter and apparently uh they cut in the middle of a golf putt to sink in at some hole. That was hilarious. What radar am I using? GR2 Analyst. This one's Radar Omega. I highly recommend Radar Omega for people who are just starting out. It's only $9, but you can get all sorts of stuff. And if you want to pay an extra fee for it, like an annual fee to get more stuff, then feel free to do so. All right. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm starting to get more and more uninspired. I'm just casually waiting for this massive line of storms to move on through. But honestly, yeah, everyone else is already kind of leaving, so I think I probably am going to end it for the evening. Caleb, what's up? I probably will be on Discord every now and then. Like, obviously, my Discord account is always on. So if you do want to talk and stuff like that, feel free to do so. I might be in VC tonight. I don't know. Won't be right now, but it'll be a bit later. Yeah, probably the best to not keep going when you're uninspired. You don't want to wear yourself out too much. Well, anyways, guys, that's going to be it for me. Was supposed to be just an informational video about what people can expect, but instead, we just kind of sat through here for 4 hours. So, I'll see you guys next time, more or less. Peace out, everyone. By the way, thunderstorms, just because I'm ending the stream, it does not mean that the severe threat is diminished. It's just, got some stuff I need to do. But still could be some widespread severe weather across the board, so stay safe, everyone. Stay safe.